What's up, world? Back again with another video. Today, man, I got a very special guest, man. He's been in the game for quite some time, man. I'm gonna let him introduce yourself, man. Who am I speaking with today?
Hey, this is Richard, and I'm coming out of Austin.
Out of Austin, Texas, man. And you've been in the trucking business, man. I caught you in the gym, man. You had your headphones on. I said, you gotta be a trucker.
Right. On the
Absolutely,
grind,
yes, sir. So, how long you been in trucking?
I ain't been in that long. I'm gonna say I've been in maybe 2.5 years now.
2.5 years. Yeah. So in these 2.5 years that you've been in trucking, what are some things that you've learned and just being on the road? What are some things you learned about the trucking industry?
Okay, before this, a little bit of background. I'm military, so I spent like 20 years in the Army.
Okay.
Then got out, and through logistics chain that I knew, came out and started working. I already had a little bit of connections through the military bases with like certain loads and having directs. So I went kind of from military, straight having a connection with military, getting those straight loads. And I wasn't CDL at first. I could have got it through the military, my CDL, but I chose not to because I needed to learn a little bit more. So I went to school, paid out of pocket, like my man, paid out of pocket and went straight and got my CDL like that. Rayna, which is in Austin, Texas. And yeah, I'm originally from like upstate New York, but I moved to Austin, Texas because I was at Fort Hood, which is Fort Cavazos now. And the many things that I can tell you that I've learned while being out here on this road is take your time. Take it as everybody know. Because the minute you speed, you're putting yourself at danger and others. And I just learned more logistics, honestly, the business better, from business credit to what you really need to build to have many trucks. Because I started Hot Shot, and then from that Hot Shot setup, I went to Richie Bros and I bought a semi truck, and which I have currently right now, but I'm still running Hot Shot because the rates were so bad. So I ran my semi truck, and then I said, hey, these rates ain't really here. Hopped in the Hot Shot again, which a lot of people are trying to do right now because of the rates, the fuel, the brokers right now. So everything like that is cutting into your money. So you really got to be smart as a business man when you're coming out with that.
Absolutely. So you mentioned the rates. What do you think is the reason the rates are bad right now? The current state of rates.
We'll say it like this. I mean, you can't blame it on one party. You can't blame it on the election. You can't blame it on the brokers. Really, a lot of the logistics chain where people don't understand. I mean, I've lived in Germany for 16 years, been to Poland, Hungary, all these countries. I mean, really, it has to do with what's going on overseas right now. And it floods into the United States. So if they're slowed down on the logistics side, which they are, I have a lot of friends who are, and I also buy and sell cars overseas to Poland, and because I speak in Deutsch, so I speak German as well. And they're saying they're having it bad over there right now, just like we're having it bad. So that's one of the many roots of it. But then you got a lot of people, say the brokers are taking too much. The truckers are being too picky and, overpricing their loads, which is not true. Some do. You got a couple bad apples in the broker side and logistics side, but if we really sit down and do the math on the economy is really what's taking a hit right now, and that's causing us as truckers and them as brokers to also take a hit. But you do have greedy brokers too, so I'm not going to hold you on that.
Absolutely, man. So you touched base about you being in the business for quite some time now, your background and stuff. So with the rates of being like how they are right now, do you see yourself expanding as far as in this trucking industry? Do you see yourself scaling your business?
Yes, I do. And I believe in right now with the economic hit that we're taking, and just the whole, nobody really wants to buy semi-trucks right now. Nobody wants to buy equipment. If you look online, Facebook, everything's for sale. If you look on Iron Planet or the government.gov, buying equipment, or Richie Bros even, all of these places, everything you get right now you can buy for super low because of what's going on with the trucking world right now, and you can buy a truck for $15,000 right now, $20,000, a really good truck. You might get one with like 400,000 or 500,000 miles on it. Mine only had 350,000 miles on it when I got it from Richie Bro, my W9, and I put some money into it. And to me, that's the way to go. Scale up on your business. Don't stay stagnant for too long, because in this business, if you stay stagnant for too long, you get too comfortable. That's how you go out of business. And if you don't know your rate per mile to run, which a lot of truckers don't, like new truckers, the old heads, like who taught me, the super truckers and them, they really know their rate per mile. They know what the cost to run at, so they're not, going too broke doing this right now. But even good ones are going broke. But know your rate per mile so you can scale up on your business. Know what you're putting into it. Know your fuel costs. Get fuel cards, because a lot of people, they're coming out of pocket. Go and do the smart way. Get your fuel cards. Make sure you got your credit built. That way you can use those cards, because you're gonna need them in tough times, especially when you got engine failure. There's so many tires. Tires cost so much. You might blow one of them with heavy loads, or if they're underinflated, too much heat on the road. There's so many things that we need to know when we're getting out here, because I've had all of these problems. Axles, I had to replace axles and drive shafts, and just, I didn't put so much money in. I probably lost, I'm not gonna lie, I probably lost 100,000. But losing and knowing when to hang in there and do it smart, knowing when to come off the road, knowing when to stay on the road is really what's gonna make a difference.
Absolutely. And I'm glad you touched base on like the cost for like the tires, and just the cost of tires, cost to run, knowing your miles, cost miles per load, things of that nature. Because a lot of new truckers are getting into this program, and they're just looking at how much money you can make, but they don't understand the importance of savings. Can you kind of touch on just like saving and how important that is to save when you're making this money?
I'm gonna just put it like this. To me, if you do go get a money truck and just have what it costs to replace that engine, that 30,000, 35,000, have what it costs to do a in-frame or outer frame. You might your transmission might blow. You might have to go and do that. So to me, it's when you get into it, save. Pay yourself on a weekly basis. Whether it's an S Corp, I like S Corps because you pay per check rather than LLC. Just getting that money and not really seeing where it's going. Sometimes, of course, you see where it's going. If you use QuickBooks, if you follow in your business bank account, and you're noting everything that you Zelly over to yourself or that you Cash App to yourself. Just annotate, note everything, and at the end of the week, do a breakdown of what you spent. And what you lost, because on fuel it's going to be expensive if you run far. If you're going in the mountains, all that's gonna, if your load is too tall, if you run a step deck or a flatbed like myself, if it's too tall, you're gonna your rate per mile or your MPG is gonna go down. So it's just so many things you need to know about it. Yeah,
absolutely. And I appreciate that, because a lot of the new truckers, like myself, when I first jumped in, I was just moving a lot of loads, and I didn't have a mentor to tell me about saving or how much it's going to cost to actually run. Right. I was on a leasing program, and I'm just running, and I kind of burnt myself out. I was going 3 months.
You burnt yourself out.
Yeah, and I feel like that's important to let new truckers know about just how to know when to get on the road, when to get off the road, things of that nature. Can you kind of touch?
I'm similar. Okay, at the time I was kind of like coming into the game, military, going through a little divorce. So I stayed on the road for a year, 3 months straight, like just running, just stacking money. Yeah, man, I was going through it, and I was used to deploying, Afghanistan or going to other places. I was used to that stuff. So for me, staying out on the road was nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's like I was just so used to it that I just kept doing it. But I stacked the money, and that's kind of where I got, man. I was just saving, put everything away, and I wrote down everything. And yeah,
absolutely. So you say you went on the road for a year and 3 months.
Yep, year and 3 months.
A year and 3 months. How did in that time, how were you taking care of your body? Because I know that's important, just being on the road and stuff. Can you kind of touch base on just taking care of your body when you've been on the road?
That's a good one. That's a good one. Nobody ever really touches on. I think when I first started, though, I was lighter. So when I came out here, which people they ain't gonna say, is like you gonna gain like a good 20 pounds over, you know. At 30, you know, if you're not being mindful. But me, I stopped at every Planet Fitness, every Crunch, because I got those memberships, every military base. Like when I was about to shut down, you know, you run on your ELD, you run those certain time periods, or you're on my 30-minute, I will pull in and I will go and do burpees, or I will go and jump, you know, on the trailer and off the trailer and do pull-ups. But it's the biggest thing is your food, because it's so much garbage out here at the truck stops, man. And they're not trying to implement those solid bars, and they don't tell you, even if you go to the salad or you get the little salads, all the calories is inside of them. They add up to eating, they're equivalent to eating a donut when you throw all that dressing on there and this, that, and the third. And I'm still trying to get the weight off that I put on, and even being on testosterone because I'm 41. So I got the testosterone from the doctor. And now I'm just starting to knock things back down again. And so yeah, on the diet tip, I would really focus on moving a lot, getting out that truck, because they don't tell you too about when you drive too long, and I believe it's the right foot. I drive manual. So it's the right foot will give you, could be lymphedema, which is swelling on that ankle. You got to be careful for that. So you got to wear like compression socks and things like that to get all that down. And those real heavy guys out there, you know, who are getting canceled because of, now you get canceled if your blood pressure is too high, and the doctor will give you that 1 year to get your blood pressure down, or they'll take your CDL. So there's so many things that's different now that's starting to implement, because, you know, so many people dying out here on the road from just, you know, obesity and not really taking care of their body, you know, coming in these places and utilizing this $10, $27 a month gym membership, you know, and health is wealth.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I touched base on one of my previous videos about, you know, just how these truck stops, you know, they it seems like they don't want us to be on the road for that long or anything like that, because every truck stop is just windy, you know, just garbage and stuff.
Yep.
And then the fruit that they have, the quality of the fruit and the salads that they have are very poor.
Yeah.
So you know, that is something that is very important that I'm glad you touched base on, because, you know, I've noticed that just in the 2.5 years that I've been in the truck and just being at these truck stops, sleeping at these truck stops, that you know, I don't get it. You know, they give us these big cups and they want us to fill us up
portions,
with soda.
portions.
And, you know, and you know, and a lot of these truckers, they're drinking a big 64-ounce thing of soda.
Right.
And then, you know, that
sugar.
That sugar, you know, it gives them a good sugar rush, but then you crash after
that.
And, you know, a lot of these truckers are falling asleep when they're
driving. When they're driving.
People in their own life in danger. So I'm glad you touched base on that. And you said you got a good workout regimen being on the road. And, so how important is that workout regimen?
Workout regimen is important for me. Man, I saw myself getting lazy, so I stopped going to the gym like that. And I was like, man, I'm getting in the habit of looking like the rest of these truckers. My beard was down to here. You know, I looked in the mirror and I was like, nah, man, this ain't me. And, you know, a lot of people who's in the military with me, it's like, man, what's going on? And I shaved it off, man, and bought me a scale. And every time I go in the truck stop now, I hit the gym. So I maybe weigh myself 2 times a week, and just to see where I'm sitting at, see if I'm coming down. Because health right now, man, if your blood pressure shoot up, like I said, they're going to cancel you. And there's a lot more jobs coming available. I hate to bring this up, you know, it's off topic, but all of these CDL jobs that are about to come up in November for people who were on the ASAP program, or the SAP program, not ASAP, the SAP program, which is like if you smoked weed or you did anything and you pissed hot, basically. For all of my military, y'all know, if you pissed hot and you were on that SAP program, if you couldn't get yourself off by November, that's 129,000. Don't quote me. I might be, give or take, I might be wrong, but it's about 129,000 jobs that are open because these people on these SAP programs that chose to do the wrong thing got on the road and drove and got caught up. And all those jobs are open, man. So imagine how many jobs you can walk in and get after November. I hate to say it, people.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Another thing I wanted to kind of touch base on is how has being on the road and being a trucker, how has that affected your social life?
Oh man. Shoot, I ain't got no social life. Honestly, man, people call me on the phone and they might talk to me, but man, if you're a trucker, most of the time it's truckers. I bet at the truck stop. We real cool now, cause you know it's kind of like a brotherhood type thing. You know, you running there, like, yeah, man, hey, what you doing? Hey, everything all right, man? You being safe out here? What's going on? You know, we want to know where each other at, because you're gonna run into that a lot out here, and it's cool. The camaraderie is cool, and it's all gonna be shown love out here. I mean, but social life, I ain't got no social life, man. I got kids, and I be chilling or taking care of them, or I ain't got no social life no more. I mean, I got a money life, but don't let the money run you. That's the problem, man.
Absolutely.
When you get out here and you start making this kind of money, it can, and I don't want to glorify it. It's not like you getting a super major, you know, amount of money. You working for it. You working. You bust me a butt for it. But it's still good. It's still good. I mean, and you're gonna meet people out here, but you ain't gonna have no social life. That's over.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. It's the reason why I asked, because you know it's a lot of young truckers coming in, and you know they're traveling, and they're going to different cities, different states, and you know they may not have established a family just yet.
Yeah.
They even got into this trucking. So
yeah.
You know, what is some advice for somebody that hasn't started a family yet? They don't have. They're looking. They want to have a family, but you know they're on the road. They get this money, and you know sometimes they're not coming home for 2-3 months.
Yeah, man, you gotta really be thick-skinned. It's like you gotta. First of all, you gotta deal with a woman who's going to accept and understand what you're doing for yourself and for her. I still believe in that, you know, because I still believe in that chivalry. And if you're young and you want to get out here, and if you don't have that kind of relationship yet, I say run it up, man, until you feel like you want to come off this road and you saved enough and you want a job that's local, because you can still go get a local position after you could get one in 6 months to a year on the road if you go get with one of these companies, Swift, CFI, oh man, New England. There's so many companies you can get with. Warner. I mean, out of CDL school, and you could stay with them for a year and then straight look for local. If you want to have some type of relationship or a family to build, because at the end of the day, you know, as men and as women, you know, we put on this earth to not necessarily just procreate, but to establish a relationship before we, you know, pass on.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. That's real good. That's real good. I feel like that information will definitely inspire others, you know, young truckers, inspire ones that are looking to get into the trucking,
right.
You know, to kind of put their focus on the right things, and then when that time comes, you know, they can you know, get out here and establish something, move on to something else. On
a bigger level.
Absolutely.
On a bigger level, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're right, man.
Yeah. So you touch base on a lot of good things. Are you spiritual?
Yeah.
Okay, so how is like having that relationship with a higher being while you've been on the road? How is that?
You better have that, because the places that you're going, I mean, you've been to, man, you better have that, because you're going in these mountains and you don't have all the experience to navigate these places. Man, you better have a higher being that you're praying to going through there. But not only for that, it's just you got to be well-rounded out here. You got to have thick skin and know what to take from people, and you got to have some type of connection with God or something to even manage to make it through this sometimes, you know, especially with the people you deal with. And, you know, people acting crazy everywhere, man. I mean, even truckers is running around shooting each other. And it's madness, man. So spiritual is big, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Man, that's good, man.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you touch base on a lot of good things.
Yeah.
I don't want to hold up too much of your time.
Okay, you good, man.
You touched on a lot of good things. I appreciate it. I wish you nothing but the best out
you too.
here. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we go out, or you want to shout your company out, or
I'm
social media?
That's right. Well, I ain't got my social media. My company is Code of Conduct Trucking. It's like a military-based company, and you know, I'm just moving up, man. Just moving up. And I say to young people, if y'all want to get into it while you're young, and build that foundation, and take that and invest that into something else, because that's the end goal, man. Investing into something else and stay strong out here, because you know, that mental health on the road for truckers is big. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, man.
I appreciate you, man. Yeah.
To do this, and man, like I said, I wish you nothing but the best.
You too,
Blessings.
young brother.
Yes, sir.
All right.